Thank the chairman of the Judiciary Committee for yielding time, and also for his support and work on this legislation, and the ranking member as well. And also I want to thank my friend across the aisle, Carolyn Maloney from New York, for being the chief co-sponsor of this legislation on the Democrat side. Madam Speaker, Cheryl Briggs is one of many American children that got caught in the slave trade. When she was 12 years of age, she ran away from home because she was being assaulted by her father. Not long after that, she was picked up as a hitchhiker by a trucker, and then soon after that she was put in the slave trade, where she was forced to have sex with men several times a day. She also had to be at a strip club during the daytime. Sold at night, also was forced to do that work in the daytime. She was able to escape that trafficker because of really a patron at one of the clubs figured out that she was a mere child and called the police. Sex trafficking of minor children happens all over the world. It happens in America. Recently, I was in South America. I went to a shelter in Peru. I met several girls. One of them was named Lily, at the age of 10 years of age. Madam Speaker, she was 10, and she was sold by her mother for a cell phone to a sex trafficker. Lily gave me a bracelet when I was there, and she asked me to remember the other girls that were at this rescue shelter. Madam Speaker, as the chairman pointed out, the ranking member, in the United States, there's not much help for minor sex trafficking victims. There are approximately 300 beds or less in the whole country for victims of sex trafficking that are children. Compare that to the animal shelters. We have over 3,000 animal shelters. America needs to do better, and this bill will help America do better. And so we can proclaim not only to the traffickers and those that demand this for money, but the victims of crime, the children just aren't for sale. They're not for sale here in America, and they're not for sale anywhere, because they're children. The greatest resource any nation has are our children. No matter whether they're runaways, throwaways, or stowaways, they are not for sale. So the legislation enforces the law against the trafficker, the slave trader that buys and sells these children. Make sure they go to the penitentiary, that the law is very clear. But on the other end, it treats these victims of crime as victims of crime. They are not criminals. They are not child prostitutes. There's no such thing as a child prostitute. Children cannot consent to sex. They are rape victims. And the society and the law is going to start treating them that way and rescuing them and giving resources to children's assessment centers, to the police, to recognize these children that have been captured and stolen, their youth stolen, and they are in the slave trade. But most importantly, this bill goes after the demand. Those people in this country who buy these children for sex. The days of boys being boys are going to be over in this country, because those people in the middle, and they are not Johns, they are child rapists. They are going to be held accountable for their actions against these girls. The law is clear that the law will prosecute those individuals, that they can go to the same penitentiaries as the traffickers for stealing the soul, the youth of America's greatest resource, our children. And I'm glad to see that this bill has so much bipartisan support, that it came out of Judiciary Committee unanimously. It's one of several bills that are coming to the House floor today to proclaim to the country and to victims of crime and to criminals that the days of the slave trade are going to end in the United States. And that's just the way it is.